Have you ever found yourself wondering what truly makes a woman feel vulnerable or drawn to someone? Imagine this: a quiet evening. You're having a heartfelt conversation with someone special, and she suddenly opens up about something that makes her feel unsure, maybe even a little exposed. That moment reveals a lot more than words. It's a key to understanding her on a deeper level. Today, we're diving into those subtle yet powerful aspects of a woman's emotional world that every man should know. By the end, you might just see relationships in a whole new light. Ready to explore? Understanding the emotional triggers that make women vulnerable. When it comes to building deeper connections with women, understanding their emotional triggers can be a game changer. Emotional triggers are not weaknesses, they are windows into the unique experiences and inner world of a person. For many women, vulnerability arises not from external events alone, but from the way they process emotions internally. For example, feelings of being unappreciated or unheard can deeply affect their sense of security and connection in a relationship. One significant trigger for vulnerability is the fear of being judged. This is why women often open up only when they feel completely safe with someone, free from criticism or invalidation. Men who cultivate a non-judgmental attitude and genuinely listen create an environment where a woman feels comfortable revealing her true self. Another key aspect is the need for emotional validation. Women often want to feel that their emotions are understood, not necessarily solved. This is where empathy plays a critical role. A simple response like, "I understand why you feel that way," can go a long way in making her feel supported. Lastly, it's important to recognize that every woman is different. What makes one person feel vulnerable might not apply to another. The key lies in paying close attention, asking thoughtful questions, and observing her reactions. This awareness not only strengthens relationships, but also builds trust and emotional intimacy, setting the foundation for a lasting bond. How confidence and empathy capture a woman's attention. Confidence and empathy are two traits that, when combined, can have a profound impact on how a man is perceived by women. Confidence is attractive because it signals security, strength, and self-assuredness, qualities that make women feel safe and drawn to a person. However, confidence without empathy can come across as arrogance. It's the ability to balance these two traits that creates an irresistible dynamic. Confidence doesn't mean being overly assertive or dominating conversations. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, speaking clearly, and maintaining eye contact. A confident man doesn't need to boast about his achievements. His actions and demeanor naturally communicate his self-worth. For example, being decisive in simple matters, such as choosing a restaurant or expressing a clear opinion, demonstrates leadership and reliability. Empathy, on the other hand, adds depth to confidence. It's the ability to genuinely understand and care about another person's emotions. Women often value emotional connection just as much as physical attraction. A man who listens actively, remembers small details about conversations, and validates feelings creates a sense of closeness and trust. Empathy also shows that a man is secure enough in himself to prioritize someone else's needs and feelings, which can be incredibly appealing. Together, confidence and empathy create a magnetic combination. A man who exudes confidence while also showing emotional sensitivity isn't just noticed, he's remembered. This balance demonstrates emotional intelligence, a quality that many women find essential in forming meaningful relationships. The role of active listening in building deep connections. Active listening is one of the most underrated yet powerful tools in forming deep connections, especially in relationships. While many people think they are good listeners, the reality is that true active listening requires focus, empathy, and patience. It goes beyond simply hearing words. It's about understanding the underlying emotions and intentions behind them. Women often value communication that feels authentic and meaningful. When a man practices active listening, he demonstrates that he values her thoughts and feelings. This creates an environment where she feels safe and respected, which strengthens emotional intimacy. Active listening involves more than nodding or saying, "I understand." It includes asking follow-up questions, maintaining eye contact, and responding thoughtfully to what's being said. For instance, if she shares a personal story, acknowledging her emotions with phrases like, "That must have been challenging for you," shows that you're genuinely engaged. Moreover, active listening helps prevent misunderstandings. Many conflicts in relationships stem from miscommunication or assumptions. By fully focusing on her words, a man can gain clarity and respond in a way that addresses her concerns rather than reacting defensively. It's also important to note non-verbal cues, such as tone, body language, and pauses, as these often reveal more than the words themselves. The beauty of active listening is that it fosters trust. When a woman feels truly heard, she's more likely to open up and share her thoughts and emotions. This builds a foundation of mutual respect and connection, which is essential for any meaningful relationship. In a world filled with distractions, mastering the art of active listening can set you apart and create bonds that stand the test of time. Subtle gestures that women appreciate but rarely mention. Sometimes the smallest actions speak louder than words, and this is especially true in relationships. Subtle gestures, often overlooked, can leave a lasting impact on women because they reflect thoughtfulness and emotional awareness. These small but meaningful acts demonstrate care and consideration, often conveying more than grand declarations of affection. For example, paying attention to details like remembering her favorite coffee order or noticing when she's had a tough day can make her feel valued and seen. A simple, "I brought this for you because I know it's your favorite," can mean more than an expensive gift. Women often cherish these gestures because they indicate attentiveness and effort, qualities that show you're truly invested in the relationship. Non-verbal cues also play a significant role. A reassuring touch on her hand when she's feeling nervous, maintaining eye contact during a conversation, or even a warm smile when she walks into the room can create a deep emotional connection. These actions may seem small, but they speak volumes about your emotional intelligence and ability to make her feel at ease. Another powerful yet subtle gesture is giving her space when she needs it. Understanding when to step back and allowing her time to process her feelings without pressure shows respect for her boundaries and individuality. This balance between closeness and independence is something many women value but may not openly express. Ultimately, subtle gestures are about showing that you care without the need for words or grandiose displays. They build trust, foster emotional intimacy, and make a woman feel appreciated in ways she might not even articulate. Paying attention to these small yet powerful acts can elevate your relationship to a level of deeper understanding and connection. Recognizing her silent signals of attraction. Not all communication is verbal, and this is especially true when it comes to attraction. Women often convey their interest through subtle, silent signals that can easily go unnoticed by those who aren't paying close attention. Recognizing these signals requires a combination of observation, emotional intelligence, and an understanding of nonverbal cues. One common signal of attraction is body language. A woman who is interested might lean slightly closer when you're speaking, maintain longer eye contact, or mirror your movements unconsciously. These gestures indicate that she's comfortable and engaged in your presence. Similarly, subtle adjustments in her posture, like playing with her hair or angling her body toward you, can be signs that she feels drawn to you. Facial expressions are another key element. A soft smile or a brief look away, followed by a return of eye contact, can reveal her interest. Even her tone of voice may change, becoming softer or more playful when she's attracted to someone. These changes might seem minor, but they often carry significant meaning in the context of a budding connection. However, attraction isn't just about physical cues. A woman who's interested might go out of her way to spend time with you or find excuses to start conversations. She may remember small details about your life, showing that she's genuinely paying attention. These actions indicate that she values your presence and wants to build a deeper connection. The challenge lies in distinguishing these signals from friendly or polite behavior. To do so, you need to consider the context and consistency of her actions. Recognizing her silent signals is about being present and attentive, showing that you respect her boundaries while being open to deeper communication. Understanding these cues not only builds stronger connections, but also shows that you're someone who values what's unspoken just as much as what's said. The power of vulnerability in strengthening relationships. In a world where strength and confidence are often celebrated, vulnerability can sometimes feel like a risk. However, in the context of relationships, vulnerability is one of the most powerful tools for building deep and lasting connections. Far from being a weakness, vulnerability is a sign of courage. It shows that you trust the other person enough to share your true self, flaws and all. When a woman allows herself to be vulnerable, she's opening the door to emotional intimacy. This could mean sharing her fears, dreams, or insecurities. For a man, the way he responds to these moments can make or break the connection. A supportive and empathetic response, like listening without judgment or validating her feelings, can create a sense of safety and trust that strengthens the bond. Vulnerability also fosters authenticity. In a relationship where both partners feel safe to be themselves, there's no need for pretense. This openness allows for honest communication and the resolution of conflicts in a healthy way. For example, instead of avoiding difficult conversations, a couple that embraces vulnerability can discuss their emotions openly, leading to mutual understanding and growth. What's often overlooked is that vulnerability is a two-way street. While it's important to create a safe space for your partner, sharing your own vulnerabilities is equally vital. When a man expresses his feelings or admits his fears, it humanizes him and deepens the connection. It shows that he's not just a pillar of strength, but also a person who values emotional honesty. Ultimately, vulnerability is about showing that you trust your partner enough to let down your guard. This trust forms the foundation of meaningful relationships, turning moments of openness into opportunities for deeper love and connection. By embracing vulnerability, you're not only building a stronger bond, but also showing that true strength lies in emotional authenticity. Why emotional intelligence matters in gaining trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship, and emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in building it. Emotional intelligence, EQ, refers to the ability to understand, manage, and respond to emotions, both your own and those of others. For women, trust often stems from feeling emotionally safe, understood, and respected. And a high EQ can make all the difference in creating that foundation. One key aspect of emotional intelligence is empathy. Empathy allows you to see situations from her perspective, validating her feelings and showing that you genuinely care. For example, if she shares a frustration, rather than trying to immediately fix the problem, simply acknowledging her feelings with statements like, "That sounds really challenging," can build a sense of trust and connection. Another critical component is self-awareness. A man with high emotional intelligence understands his own triggers and reactions, ensuring that he approaches sensitive situations calmly and thoughtfully. This self-control prevents unnecessary conflicts and demonstrates emotional maturity, an attractive and trustworthy quality. Additionally, emotional intelligence helps in recognizing non-verbal cues, such as body language or subtle changes in tone. These small signals often communicate more than words. By picking up on these cues, you can respond in ways that make her feel seen and understood. For instance, noticing when she seems distant and gently asking, "Is something on your mind?" shows attentiveness and care, deepening her trust in you. Lastly, emotional intelligence fosters authenticity. Women are drawn to men who are genuine and consistent in their actions. Pretending to be someone you're not, or reacting insincerely, will eventually erode trust. By being honest about your feelings and intentions, while also respecting hers, you create a solid emotional foundation. In summary, emotional intelligence isn't just a skill, it's a pathway to trust. It helps bridge gaps in communication, resolve conflicts constructively, and create a relationship where both partners feel valued and secure. Developing your EQ can not only transform your connections, but also make you a person others naturally trust and respect. The secrets behind her body language and unspoken words. Communication isn't just about the words we say, it's also about what we don't say. Women often convey a wealth of emotions, intentions, and feelings through body language and unspoken cues. Learning to read and interpret these signals can significantly deepen your understanding of her emotions and intentions, creating a stronger and more meaningful connection. Body language often reveals what words might not. For instance, when a woman is engaged and interested, she might lean slightly closer, maintain consistent eye contact, or play subtly with her hair. Conversely, crossed arms, a lack of eye contact, or a turned body can indicate discomfort or disinterest. These nonverbal cues are often unconscious, making them a more honest reflection of her feelings. Micro-expressions or brief flashes of emotion on her face can also be revealing. A quick smile, a momentary look of surprise, or even a fleeting frown can provide insight into how she truly feels in a given moment. Paying attention to these subtle expressions can help you respond more thoughtfully, strengthening your connection. Tone of voice and pacing are other unspoken cues that matter. When her tone becomes softer or more animated, it might indicate excitement or vulnerability. On the other hand, a monotone or abrupt tone could suggest that something is on her mind. Being attuned to these shifts allows you to engage with her emotions more effectively. It's also important to note that unspoken communication is a two-way street. The way you respond to her body language and tone, through your own posture, expressions, and attentiveness, can either encourage her to open up or cause her to retreat. For instance, mirroring her relaxed posture or maintaining an open stance can subconsciously make her feel more at ease. Mastering the art of reading unspoken cues is about observation and empathy. It's not just about noticing the signs, but understanding what they mean in the context of your interactions. By focusing on what's unsaid, you show that you value her emotions and are invested in truly understanding her. Turning weaknesses into strengths in romantic dynamics. In relationships, what might initially appear as a weakness can often become a source of strength when approached with the right mindset. Romantic dynamics are not about perfection, but about how partners navigate vulnerabilities and challenges together. Recognizing and reframing these perceived weaknesses can lead to greater connection and mutual growth. For instance, insecurity is often seen as a flaw. However, when shared openly and respectfully, insecurities can become opportunities for deeper emotional intimacy. A woman who expresses vulnerability about her self-doubt or fears is not showing weakness, she is inviting trust. When her partner responds with understanding and encouragement, it builds a foundation of support and safety. Similarly, a man who admits his uncertainties or mistakes shows emotional honesty, which fosters trust and respect. Another example is emotional sensitivity. While some may view being highly emotional as a challenge, it can actually be a strength in building empathy and understanding within the relationship. A woman who feels deeply often brings a heightened awareness of her partner's needs and emotions. A man who values and respects this sensitivity, instead of dismissing it, creates a balanced dynamic that allows both individuals to feel validated and appreciated. Weaknesses can also inspire personal growth. When one partner struggles with a specific issue, such as managing stress or overcoming fear, the other partner's patience and support can be transformative. Facing these challenges together can strengthen the bond and foster a sense of teamwork. Rather than seeing difficulties as obstacles, viewing them as shared opportunities for growth brings a couple closer. Ultimately, turning weaknesses into strengths requires mutual acceptance, empathy, and a willingness to grow together. Instead of trying to hide or fix weaknesses, embracing them as natural parts of a person's humanity creates a deeper, more authentic connection. This approach not only strengthens the relationship, but also shows that love thrives in understanding, not in perfection. How to approach sensitive topics without crossing boundaries. In any relationship, there comes a time when sensitive topics need to be addressed. Whether it's about feelings, personal insecurities, or conflicts, these conversations can be challenging. However, the way these topics are approached can make all the difference. When done with care and respect, discussing sensitive matters can deepen trust and strengthen the connection. The first step is timing. Sensitive topics require the right moment and environment. Choosing a calm and private setting where both partners feel comfortable ensures that the conversation isn't rushed or interrupted. Starting with a phrase like, "I've been thinking about something and I'd like to hear your perspective," sets a collaborative tone, signaling that the discussion is about mutual understanding rather than confrontation. Equally important is using empathetic and non-judgmental language. Avoid making accusations or generalizations such as, "You always do this," or "You never understand me." Instead, frame your thoughts using I statements like, "I feel this way because..." This shifts the focus to your emotions and avoids putting the other person on the defensive. Another key is active listening. After sharing your thoughts, give her the space to express herself without interruption. Pay attention to her words, tone, and body language to fully understand her perspective. Responding with phrases like, "I understand why you feel that way," can validate her feelings and foster a sense of safety. Lastly, respect boundaries. If she's not ready to discuss the topic, don't force it. Sometimes, sensitive matters require time to process before they can be resolved. Showing patience and understanding in these moments demonstrates emotional maturity and a commitment to the relationship's well-being. Approaching sensitive topics with care isn't just about resolving issues. It's about creating an environment where both partners feel heard, valued, and respected. This not only builds trust, but also reinforces the foundation of the relationship, ensuring it grows stronger with each conversation. As we wrap up, remember that building meaningful relationships is not about grand gestures, but about the small, consistent efforts that show care, understanding, and respect. Whether it's recognizing subtle signals, embracing vulnerability, or navigating sensitive topics with empathy, these actions create the foundation for a deeper connection. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with these insights, or do you have experiences to share? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content like this, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's continue this journey of understanding and connection together.